Yes, good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, we were discussing about chapter number 7, structural organization of animals. First section, first unit or first part within that is animal tissues. Second is earthworm. Third is cockroach. Fourth one, that is frog. Now, in animal tissue, so far completed the epithelial tissue, connective tissues, and muscle tissues. The last one in that, neural tissues. Let's discuss about neural tissues. One point that you need to understand, that is, I think connective tissue in which blood, hardly 2 lines we studied about it. Actually, we will be devoting one whole session, one whole lecture on the study of blood later on, as and when it will come in the chapter number 17, 18, I think, 18. Similarly, for nervous system also, nervous tissue and nervous system, one entire chapter is dedicated, 21. In the 21st chapter, detailed information on the structure of neuron and other types of neuroglia cells and other cells related with the nervous tissue. So again, excuse me. At this point of time, we will be restricting ourselves to a very brief introduction of neural tissue. Later on, in the chapter number 21, we will go through the detailed study of this matter, this neural tissue stuff. So let me start with the limited number of points which are mentioned here. Number 1, the function of neural tissue. Well, it is responsible for controlling body's responsiveness to the changing conditions. You remember one of the feature of living organisms is this capacity to respond to the changing environmental conditions. Have you heard about this thing? Consciousness, responsiveness to the stimuli. There is one word for this changing conditions of the surrounding, and that is the word called as stimuli. If there is a silence and if some sound comes, it's a stimulus. If there is a darkness and some light comes, it's a stimulus. Some smell inducing substance in the environment, it's a stimulus. Taste inducing substance, it can be the stimulus, it can generate the stimulus. So any change, even temperature change, is a stimulus. Excuse me. So basic idea is that the living organisms receive stimuli from their external environment as well as from their internal body environment. All the changes that take place, whether in the outer environment or inner environment, they are stimuli. They are received by the nervous system. That's the first function of the nervous system. And befitting replies or responses are generated for these stimuli. That is the another function of nervous system or nervous tissue over there. So nervous tissue is indulged into two major activities: receiving the stimuli and responding to the stimuli. Simple as that. You touch the hot object, that sensation coming to your nervous system, it is about receiving the stimulus, and you withdraw your hand because of that. That is the response to that. So basic idea is that neural tissue, nervous tissue, mainly the neurons, are concerned with two activities. One, to receive the stimuli from the environment. This includes external environment as well as internal environment of the body. And when you say stimuli, it refers to changes, changing conditions. So first is to receive them, then analyzing them and deciding the befitting response and responding actually to those stimuli. So receiving and responding to the stimuli from external and internal environment, that's the main function of the nervous tissue. By doing this, actually nervous tissue is controlling entire, body activities, functions over there. Whole body activity functions and activities, they are controlled and governed by nervous tissue or neural tissue because of this capacity to receive the stimuli and to respond to the stimuli. Structurally, nervous tissue includes two different categories of cells. One category is known as neurons. Have a look at a typical neuron, this one. Neurons are the specialized cells with long and short processes. They are the ones which are units of nervous system. They are the ones which are capable of receiving the stimuli, transmitting the stimuli, and instructing the glands and muscles to perform some functions. So they are the main units of this neural tissue, nervous tissue. Particularly, the main function of this nervous tissue is carried out by the neurons. In addition to these neurons, there are tissues what are called as neuron cells or nervous tissue cells, which are called as neuroglia. One minute. See, varieties of cells, they are included in the neuroglia. They all are part of nervous tissue, but they are not neurons. Neurons conduct, they generate and conduct nerve impulses. Whereas neuroglia are not capable of generating, not capable of conducting nerve impulses. They are given some other functions within the neural tissue, such as some of them are involved in protection, phagocytic cells. Some of them are involved in support system. Some of them are involved in making coverings, and many more functions are there which are performed by the neuroglia, which we will see in detail in the chapter number 21. So basically, the neurons as a main units in the neural tissue for generating and conducting nerve impulses, electrical impulses, and the neuroglia, the varieties of cells which will be involved in protection and support and making coverings of the nervous tissue organs. These are the neuroglia. Actually, the neuroglia constitute more than half of the volume of neural tissue. अगर आपके बॉडी में न्यूरल टिश्यू का मास अगर 2 kg है, तो उसमें न्यूरॉन का वेट लेस देन 1 kg होगा. 1 kg plus would be the weight contributed by which one? Neuroglia. Just to give you an example, the way you have to understand that how much important the neuroglia may be, also constituting more than half of the volume of nervous tissue, neural tissue. Which way this neurons work, related with that, some sort of explanation is been given. So what it says is, see, one is to receive the stimulus. So for example, if this is your skin, and on your skin you are penetrating one pin, piercing one pin, so the neuron in that region it will be stimulated. This is a sensory neuron. So it will, first of all, whenever a suitable stimulation, pin pierced into the skin is a stimulation. Whenever a suitable stimulation is received by the neuron, an electrical imbalance, or rather you can say electrical disturbance, is generated. That electrical disturbance is known as nerve impulse. So when you touch, when you prick your skin, when you have a hot object touching your skin, skin being receptor organ, the neurons must be ending over there. This sensory neuron receive the stimulus, generate an electrical impulse, which will be conducted by that neuron. Then there will be another neuron after it that will be receiving that message, and it will take it to the CNS, the central nervous system. फिर CNS analyze करेगा इसको and will be sending reply. The reply would be that you take away your body part which is coming in contact with the pin. So for that response, the message from the brain, it will be received by another neuron. That neuron also carries that nerve impulse, and ultimately it will pass it to your muscles, for example, or depends what is the response. The muscles will be the main one to respond over there. So in this case, your hand muscles will withdraw your hand, the one in which pin is been pricked or pierced upon. Asa. You could see that the nerve impulse was generated by the neuron. It was transmitted to CNS. Then CNS decided the response which it transmitted via neuron, and that neuron stimulated the muscle to trigger the response. Response in the sense of removal of the hand from that region. इसकी जगह पे अगर जैसे आप फूड को देखते हो या उसकी स्मेल आती है, तो वो मैसेज आपके सेंसरी यूनिट्स में से, जैसे आईज आपके सेंसरी यूनिट्स है, आपने चाइनीज या पानी पूरी या कोई स्वीट देख लिया, so your neurons will be sensitized, will pass that information to brain will stimulate the neuron, and these motor neuron जो सेंसरी से ब्रेन तक या सीएनएस तक ले गए मैसेज, वो सेंसरी न्यूरॉन, जो ब्रेन से ग्लैंड या मसल तक ले जाते हैं इंफॉर्मेशन, उनको कहते हैं मोटर न्यूरॉन. So brain will stimulate the motor neuron, conduct the impulse to the gland. This time around, it will not be muscle, it must be the gland. And in that response, the gland will secrete, salivary gland will secrete saliva. So अच्छा अच्छा खाना देख के आपके मुंह में salivation होता है. That is another one such response to a stimulus. all along the न्यूरॉन लेंथ, न्यूरॉन का जो पूरा लेंथ है, चाहे सेंसरी न्यूरॉन्स हो या फिर मोटर न्यूरॉन्स, the cell membrane will conduct the nerve impulse over there. Now how it conducts, that is again to be studied in depth in chapter number 21. With this I conclude the topic of neural tissue. I will wait for next 10 seconds to see if you have any questions or doubts. If no, then I will go to the next part, that is an earthworm.
Sir?
Hello?
Hello, sir.
हाँ बोलिए.
Sir, what did you say about sensory neuron and motor neuron? Can you repeat it?
Yes. I said that this is not correct. This is supposed to be a sensory neuron. Any neuron that conducts the nerve impulse from the sensory units towards the CNS is supposed to be called as sensory neuron. And the one which is conducting the nerve impulse from CNS to the effector organ is known as motor neuron. This effector could be the gland, it could be the muscle, cardiac or visceral or skeletal, whichever one is there. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fine. We go to the next, and that is an earthworm. Now, how many of you have seen? By the way, let me tell you, we have in the same chapter the study of different, morphological and anatomical features of different animals. Two of them being invertebrate, the cockroach and earthworm. One of them being vertebrate, the frog. This gives you an idea. The study of invertebrate and vertebrate in detail gives you an idea of animal kingdom, a glance into the various systems which are found in animals belonging to this kingdom. First one in this list is an earthworm. Now my question was, did you ever see the earthworm in reality? In real, have you seen the earthworm? Maybe in a soil nearby. Not I am talking about the preserved earthworm, real earthworm living live. Okay. Where did you see that? Anyone? All those who wrote, yes. Can you give me one line? So in soil, though naturally it is in a soil, the term itself, earthworm. Specifically, of course, it's a one which is there in soil. Okay, maybe in playground, isn't it? Gardens, yes, farms, crop fields. Exactly. These are the sites where you can really make out this one. So in a soil, actually, yes, definitely it lives inside the soil. It's a burrowing animal. So definitely it would be seen in soil. But in a night time, it comes out from the soil and moves on the surface, ground surface. and particularly in the farms, crop fields, our agricultural land, maybe in gardens at times, playgrounds at times. These are the sites where you can see them. So let's talk about earthworm. Question number one regarding them. Uh, which phylum they belong to? Annelida, agreed. Did you have a classification of earthworm? The order and all that stuff, class and order and genus, scientific name. Did you have that information? Yes, Rishi, correct. Ferretima, Ferretima posthuma. सुना है आपने? I thought in first chapter you had a classification of earthworm, but if it is not there, let us leave it. We just talk about the earthworm. Number one, varieties of earthworms are there. One of the varieties called as Lumbricoides. Some species is there, something like terrestris, Lumbricoides terrestris. Mainly it's a European earthworm. This is the one. Another example, another variety. This is the one that's called Pharetima posthuma. Pharetima posthuma. This is the one which is in South Asia, mainly India में इस format का earthworm available है. So varieties of earthworms, scientific name Pharetima posthuma or Lumbricoides terrestris, etc., etc. Basically, they are found in soil. They are burrowing animals. Can you name any other burrowing animal? So पता चले कि आपको पता है क्या burrowing होते हैं. Burrowing का meaning क्या होता है? Rabbit, moles, snakes. Correct. These are known as fossorial adaptation, showing animals which live in soil, inside the soil, by in burrows over there. We say they exhibit fossorial adaptations. जैसे ना कोई ट्री पे रहते हैं तो उसको कहते हैं arboreal adaptations वाला एनिमल, जैसे monkeys. कोई लैंड पे रहता है तो उसको टेरेस्ट्रियल एडेप्टेशन वाला एनिमल, जैसे डियर, काउ, एटसेट्रा. तो जैसे कोई बरोइंग होता है, स्नेक्स या अर्थवर्म्स, ऐसे मोल्स, तो उसको कहते हैं दे शो फसोरियल एडेप्टेशंस. ऐसा. Worm casting. The term that is to be understood is worm casting. See, generally these earthworms are active at night. What is the term employed for any animal which is active at night, not in the daytime? Exactly. That is called nocturnal. So basically these animals are nocturnal, active at night. Another thing about them is if you wanna trace them, so जैसे डे टाइम पे आप जाते हो तो किसी ग्राउंड में या किसी फील्ड में पता है कि अर्थवॉर्म है लेकिन सॉइल के बिलो है, तो कहाँ पे है, तो वो अगर ट्रेस करना है तो यू कैन ट्रेस देम बाय देयर वॉर्म कास्टिंग. वॉर्म कास्टिंग क्या होता है? उसका फीकल वेस्ट होता है. वो फीकल वेस्ट डिस्चार्ज करता है सॉइल की सरफेस पे आके. तो जो पैलेट्स होते हैं उसके फीसिस के, उसको ट्रेस करने से पता चलता है, व्हाइल ट्रेसिंग दोस पैलेट्स, उसके पैलेट्स का एक पिक्यूलियर शेप एंड कलर है और वो क्लस्टर में डिस्चार्ज होते हैं. तो उसे देख के ही पता चल जाएगा कि इस फील्ड में कहीं पे अर्थवॉर्म्स है। पता चला ना आपको? जैसे काऊ डंग है किसी फील्ड में तो पता है कि यहाँ पे काऊ है, तो ऐसे इसका जो फीकल वेस्ट होता है उसका एक स्पेसिफिक शेप एंड पैलेट्स होते हैं, उसका लार्ज क्लस्टर्स में डिस्चार्ज होते हैं, जिसको वॉर्म कास्टिंग कहते हैं। इस वॉर्म कास्टिंग को ट्रेस करते करते आपको पता चल जाएगा कि अगर ये वॉर्म कास्टिंग है तो इस फील्ड में कहीं पे अर्थवॉर्म्स बरीड है कहीं पे ऐसा। As I mentioned, two common varieties of earthworms, mainly the Pharytima postuma and another one Lumbricoides terrestris. These two are definitely these two are found in India mainly. Okay. So now we can talk about the morphology of an earthworm in that first point. Their shape is cylindrical, long bodied. These are basically long bodied and cylindrical in shape. They have a long body, they are having cylindrical body, number one. Number two, reddish brown color. As you can make out clearly, it is the reddish brown color, sort of chocolatey color. Of course, the lower surface of the body is little pale. Pale means थोड़ा light color होता है, ऊपर एकदम dark, नीचे थोड़ा light होता है body में. And it shows bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry body की होती है. Now, few more points. This is how it looks. This is the dorsal surface of the body. The same body from the ventral side. आप देख सकते हो dorsal side थोड़ी dark ज़्यादा है than the ventral side. Now the point is that how do you make out that which is the dorsal side and which is the ventral side? तो एक दो पॉइंट्स है जिससे पता चल जाएगा, जैसे आप इसमें ऑब्जर्व करेंगे. ऑफ कोर्स फर्स्ट इज dorsal side is dark, the ventral side is light. Can you make out one dark line is passing from the middle of the body on a dorsal side? ये जो dorsal side है body की, उसमें मिडल में एक लाइन पास हो रही है. आपको वो दिख रही है लाइन? I don't know, on your screen is it visible clearly? Yes. अगर नहीं है तो enlarge करके देखो थोड़ा. So that is an indication that that side is a dorsal side. The dorsal surface of the earthworm is marked by the dark median and mid dorsal line. Actually ये लाइन कुछ नहीं है, उसके बॉडी में, बॉडी वॉल के नीचे एक जो मेजर डॉर्सल ब्लड वेसल पास हो रही है, जिसमें रेड ब्लड पास हो रहा है. सो क्या है कि जैसे आपकी हमारी स्किन के बिलो जो ब्लड वेसल्स है उसमें से ब्लड जाता है, पर्टिकुलरली वेन्स, तो वो थोड़ी ग्रीनिश दिखती है या ब्लूइश दिखती है. आपने देखा है अपने स्किन के बिलो? दो दे आर बिलो द स्किन, दे आर विजिबल as greenish या bluish, little greenish in color. आर्टरीज नहीं दिखती है लेकिन वेन्स दिखती है, वेन्स सुपरफिशियल होती है. सो सेम वे अर्थवर्म का जो बॉडी का डॉर्सल साइड है, उसमें बॉडी में बीनीथ द बॉडी वॉल एक मिड डॉर्सल पोजीशन में ब्लड वेसल पास हो रहा है बॉडी में, इंटीरियर एंड से लेके पोस्टीरियर एंड तक. तो इट लुक्स लाइक अ dark median line on a dorsal surface of the body all along the length of the body. Such line is missing on which side? Ventral side. अच्छा, एक और भी डिफरेंशिएटिंग फैक्टर है कि large pores, particularly related with the reproductive system, are found on a ventral side of the body. Look at this one. Can you make out the female genital aperture, male genital aperture, genital papilla, and all that stuff? Can you make out these things? These things are related to the openings are related to reproductive system, most of them, and they are present on which side of the body? Ventral side. So ventral side, number one, lighter surface. Two, without mid line. And three, with openings of reproductive system. These are the features of ventral side. Is this clear? Dorsal side, dark appearance, mid dorsal line apparent over there, and no major reproductive system related apertures on this dorsal surface. That's a dorsal surface. Are you all clear with this fact, the dorsal surface and ventral surface differences? Yes, so that is the one. Now let us talk about anterior end of the body in the earthworm. At the anterior end of the body in this earthworm, अच्छा, हेड नहीं है यहाँ पे. There is nothing like a head. देखो वर्टिब्रेट्स में अगर आप देखो तो हेड होता है. इवन इन वर्टिब्रेट्स में अब आर्थ्रोपोडा ऑनवर्ड्स अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करो तो एनिमल्स आर प्रोवाइडेड विद द हेड. प्रोटोजुआ से लेके पोरीफेरा से लेके सिलोन्ट्रेटा, प्लैटीहेलमिन्थस, एस्क्लेमिन्थस एंड एनीलिडा तक अगर जाते हो तो बॉडी में एंटीरियर एंड होता है, बट उसमें हेड नहीं होता है. So this being an annelid without head, so we call it as the anterior end of the body. At this anterior end of the body, in this given segmented body, I'm sure you remember na, that the annelids exhibit metamerism.
Yes, sir.
Who recalls? Yes, Shreya, speak about
Yes.
it. What is
Yes,
metamerism?
sir. The body is divided into segments with serial repetition of some organs or some parts, which is known as phenomenon of metamerism, and the segments are known as metamerism.
Yes, very good. That is the definition of a metamerism. So you know that the body is segmented, particularly metamerically segmented. Nearly, you know how many? 100 to 120 segments are there. 100 to 120. At least 100 to as many as 120 segments are present in the body. इस body में इतने segments होते हैं. Metameric segments are present over there. This being the first segment of the body. ये body का कैसा segment है? First है. जैसे ये first segment है यहाँ पे और ये वाला last होगा. Simple as that. So body के first segment को कहते हैं पेरिस्टोमियम. It is known as which one? Peristomium. Stoma is for mouth opening in this case. वैसे तो स्टोमा का मीनिंग होता है ओपनिंग. याद होगा ना आपको? साइक्लोस्टोमेटा. Mouth opening is circular. You remember that term? So similarly, stoma is here for the mouth opening. यहाँ पे एक mouth opening होता है इस एनिमल में, और उस माउथ ओपनिंग के अराउंड ये जो सेगमेंट है, दिस फर्स्ट सेगमेंट itself, it is known as peristomium. It is termed as peristomium. How many are clear with the term peristomium? A first segment which is encircling this mouth opening. ये माउथ ओपनिंग को एनसर्कल करने वाले फर्स्ट सेगमेंट को क्या कहते हैं? पेरिस्टोमियम. एंड फ्रॉम द सेम पेरिस्टोमियम one roof like structure is arising like this. It is called as प्रोस्टोमियम. जैसे हम कैप पहनते हैं ना, तो कैप क्या एक्सटेंडेड पार्ट होता है ना, हमारे फोरहेड से एक्सटेंड करता है कैप. देखा है ना कैप, ऐसा एक्सटेंड करता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड prostomium. It is termed as prostomium. Two terms must be clear on your part. Number one, which is that peristomium, the first segment, and second is a lobe-like structure at the roof of the peristomium known as prostomium. अच्छा, ये जो प्रोस्टोमियम होता है, इट इज वेज शेप्ड. वेज ऐसा होता है. ओके okay? तो इस शेप का होता है यहां पे. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो ये वेज शेप स्ट्रक्चर है नंबर वन. आप देख सकते हो इस शेप को वेज शेप कहते हैं. सो दिस इज अ वेज शेप्ड स्ट्रक्चर, a lobe that is projecting from the upper part of peristomium in a forward direction. See, when this earthworm is moving through the soil, आपको इमेजिनेशन करना पड़ेगा कि जब ये earthworm soil के अंदर है, आप इमेजिन करें कि soil है पूरा, and in this the earthworm is there. यहां पे ये प्रोजेक्शन को क्या कहेंगे? हेड रीजन के इस प्रोजेक्शन को हेड तो नहीं, एंटीरियर एंड पे प्रोस्टोमियम कहेंगे. This is a very hard lobe-like structure which it knocks in the soil. ये soil में सर टकराए ना, ऐसे टकराता है. इससे क्या होता है? soil में cracks आती है और वो आगे forward मूव करेगा. earthworm will move forward through that. तो जैसे आपके सर पे कैप पहना हो और वो कैप आप वॉल में टकराओ ना, ऐसे वो सॉइल में अपनी प्रोस्टोमियम को स्ट्राइक करता है, and that will lead to establishing cracks in the soil and making the soil loose so that it can move forward. It can go in a forward direction while it is crawling in the soil. Bolo. Clear hai yahan tak ka concept? Is this concept clear to you all? So we were discussing about morphology of earthworm, the one that shows long cylindrical body with the reddish brown color and bilateral symmetry. Dorsal surface identified because of the darkness, because of the mid dorsal line apparent over there, and also for not having the large openings related with the reproductive system. Whereas ventral side being light in color, having a lack of that median dorsal line, but the presence of large openings on the ventral side related to the reproductive system. Further, we saw the metamerically segmented body with 100 to 120 segments, metameric segments in the body in an adult, where anterior and first segment known as prostomium, my mistake, peristomium, and a wedge-like lobe arising from its upper part, projected in a forward direction, that is known as prostomium. By striking the prostomium in soil, it establishes cracks and loosens the soil so that it can move forward within the soil. A break for some time, let's say 5 minutes, exactly 10:25. After 5 minutes, we will resume our study related with the earthworm. break time. So students, we are discussing about the morphology. In that, so far we have discussed up to the prostomium and all that features. Now we go to the next one. On the ventral side of the body, there are specific set of openings. We are going to study about them. Number one, very minute openings which are known as spermatical apertures. I will explain in detail about the spermatical apertures to be seen in earthworm on the ventral side of the body. देखिए ये डोर्सल साइड है और ये वेंट्रल साइड है. One is a dorsal side, one is a ventral side. Our first point of study is this one, the spermatical pores or spermatical apertures. कौन सी सरफेस पे है spermatical apertures? Tell me. Number one, what they are and for what purpose they are established, वो तो हम बाद में लर्न करेंगे. पहले तो इसका लोकेशन वर्कआउट करते हैं. वेंट्रल साइड ऑफ द बॉडी, इजंट इट? अच्छा, ये अगर वेंट्रल साइड होता बॉडी का, and if these openings were here, यहाँ पे है, साइड पे है. इसको अगर इसको हम वेंट्रो लैटरल पोजीशन अगर आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, विच पोजीशन? वेंट्रो लैटरल पोजीशन. तो इसको क्या कहते? अगर ऐसा होता तो क्या कहते? इट वुड हैव बीन कॉल्ड एज विच कंडीशन? मिड वेंट्रल. मिड वेंट्रल. Okay, so now if I ask you, in earthworm, how many pairs of spermatical pores are or apertures are present? Number two, on which side of the body they are present? Can you work out that much? How many pairs are there? First of all, 4 pairs. हाँ, फिर लोकेशन क्या बोला? पोजीशन कौन सी है? वेंट्रोलैटरल. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. वेंट्रोलैटरल पोजीशन. अच्छा, सेगमेंट्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करें तो जैसे ये 9th सेगमेंट है, जैसे ये 4th सेगमेंट खत्म हो रहा है यहाँ पे, तो आपको पता चलना चाहिए कि कौन से सेगमेंट्स में ये लोकेटेड है. अच्छा, ये एक्चुअली ना सेगमेंट्स के अंदर की जगह पे इंटर सेगमेंटल ग्रूव्स में प्रेजेंट है. 2 सेगमेंट के बीच का जो छोटा सा पतला सा ग्रूव होता है ना, जैसे आप अपने फिंगर्स को ऐसे फिस्ट बना दे ना, मुट्ठी ऐसा बना दो, और आप देखो कि एक फिंगर के बाद दूसरे फिंगर के बीच में एक ग्रूव आता है यहाँ. So when you see that way, that between your fingers there are grooves over there, like that between the segments, these are grooves which are called as intersegmental grooves. Already आपको explain किया है मैंने ये. कौन से intersegmental grooves में present है? Carefully आप observe करके बोलो. ये I guess segment number 5 है. So now if you have to identify which intersegmental grooves exactly, One is between 5 6, another one is between 6 7, between 7 8, and between 8 and 9. Ventrolateral sides in intersegmental grooves between the 5 6 segment, between 6 7 segment, between 7 8 segment, and between 8 and 9 segments. These are the sites where this spermatical apertures are present. Remember. अच्छा, क्यों होते हैं? Madam, just hold on the recording.
Yes.
Spermatica होता. So I was explaining about the spermatical apertures, and in that specifically I have to explain what are these spermaticae and why they are required. So number one, have a look at this one. जब sexual reproduction होता है earthworm में, when sexual reproduction happens in an earthworm, let's say that there are two earthworms, A earthworm and B earthworm. So they pass on their sperms into each other. A के sperm B रिसीव करता है और B के sperm A रिसीव करता है, like that. So they are exchanging the sperms with each other, which they will be utilizing for the sexual reproduction. So जैसे ये A earthworm है, उसने किसके sperms रिसीव किए हैं? B earthworm के. और अगर ये B है, उसने किसके sperms रिसीव किए हैं? A earthworm के at the time of sexual reproduction. अब ये sperms जो रिसीव हुए हैं from the opposite earthworm, where are they gonna get stored? So let me show you where they are getting stored inside the body. Here they get stored. Look at this one. These bags. Can you see 4 pairs of bags inside the body of earthworm? Can you make out? हाँ या ना? ये bags body में ventrolateral side पे open करते हैं. और ये है उनका location. जैसे first pair opens between 5 6 segment intersegmental groove, next between 6 7, next between 7 8, and next between 8 and 9 segment. These are the bags called spermaticae. They are meant to store the sperms which are obtained from the other earthworm during copulation, and they are inside the body, and these bags open from inside to outside in the intersegmental grooves on a ventrolateral position between 5 6, 6 7, 7 8, and 8 9. In these segments they open up like this. Again the same diagram to further emphasize my points. Now I think with this the point is clear. I can go to the next one. On the body there are large number of openings, very minute openings on the entire body surface. छोटे 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 minute openings होते हैं पूरे earthworm के body के ऊपर. earthworm के इस body के ऊपर microscopic छोटे 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 openings होते हैं, दिख भी नहीं सकते इधर तो, इतने छोटे छोटे openings होते हैं. These openings are called as nephridiopores. क्या होता है earthworm एक let me show you. Give me 1 minute. जो earthworm के body के अंदर ऐसे यूनिट्स होते हैं जिसको कहते हैं नेफ्रिडिया. Plural is nephridia. Yes, for Heth is correct. For excretion and osmoregulation, they have these units. ऐसे thousands of units होते हैं. How many? Thousands of such units are present in the body. And these units open on the body surface. They open on the body surface as a pore. These pore like this, na pore to exterior. ऐसे ऐसे ये एलिमेंट्री कैनाल में ओपन हो रहा है, बट बहुत सारे बॉडी सरफेस पे ओपन होते हैं. So such openings on the body surface are present over there. Whether dorsal side, ventral side, both surfaces, each segment virtually is having large number of these openings. These openings are called openings of nephridia, or in short called as nephrodiopores over there. Numerous such nephrodiopores are present on the surface of body in them. They are present in virtually all segments except the first two. ये जो टू segments है नंबर 1 और 2, उसको छोड़ के थर्ड सेगमेंट से लेके 120th segment तक, till all the segments of the body, all over the segment there are minute apertures which are called as nephridiopores, by which nephridia open to outside. Then if you see the body of an earthworm, earthworm का अगर आप body देखेंगे, ये वाला, check out. Can you make out that this patch of the body is different from the remaining patch? हाँ या ना? Can you make out this? दूसरे डायग्राम में भी दिखाता हूं मैं. कोई भी अर्थवर्म होगा उसमें एक क्लैरिटी मिलेगी आपको कि ये पैच थोड़ा डिफरेंट लगेगा बाकी के बॉडी से. Is it clear to you? This patch in the body is actually the segment number 14, 15 and 16. This patch of the body is known as clitellum. It is known as what? Clitellum. Clitellum is a dark patch on the body in a segment number 14, 15 and 16. अच्छा, जो segment number 1 to 13 होगा, that would be a preclitellar region of the body. हाँ या ना? 1 to 13. Yes. Then the clitellar region is in the 14 to 16, and remaining region right from segment number 17 to the last segment, that is called as postclitellar region of the body. How many have understood? Clitellar, preclitellar region, the segment number 1 to 13. Then clitellar region of the body, segment number 14 to 16. And postclitellar region, segment number 17 till the last one, जो भी अगर 100 है या 120 है, ऐसा. So that's a trifurcation of the body. Body divisible externally into 3 regions: preclitellar, clitellar and postclitellar. On the body there are if you remember, what are the locomotory structures in case of annelids? Do you remember? लीच, नेरिस एंड अर्थवर्म के लोकोमोटरी स्ट्रक्चर्स के बारे में मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया था. Can you point out what are the locomotory structures? Correct. Setae. Setae are minute locomotory structures on this body wall of this earthworm. अच्छा, कैसे होते हैं मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. जैसे हमारे बॉडी के ऊपर, हैंड्स के ऊपर जैसे हेयर होते हैं ना, छोटे छोटे हेयर जो प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं, थोड़े स्किन के अंदर होते हैं, थोड़े बाहर होता है. ओके, similar manner in which you can understand that in these organisms from the body, ये जो बॉडी का सरफेस है, देखो आप, ये सेगमेंट नंबर whatever it is, सेगमेंट्स है. ये जो सेगमेंट्स की सरफेस पे से आप देख सकते हो छोटे छोटे हेयर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर आ रहे हैं. Are you able to see this hair like projections? ये वाला हेयर है, like this. So these hair like projections arising from the body surface, they are called as setae. देखो, उनका एक पार्ट अंदर होता है, एक पार्ट बाहर होता है स्किन से, बॉडी वॉल से rather. These setae are present virtually in all segment except first segment, 14 to 16 the clitellar segment, and last segment. They are the ones which do not have setae, rest all have it. सेगमेंट नंबर 2 से 13 में होता है, 17 से लेके सेकंड लास्ट तक होता है. हर सेगमेंट में ऐसे लोकोमोटर स्ट्रक्चर्स जिसको कहते हैं सीटे, दे आर मेड अप ऑफ काइटिन. काइटिन से बने हुए हार्ड स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं जिसको कहते हैं सीटे. दे आर प्रेजेंट in segments, all segments of the body except or excluding the segment number 1, the segment number 14 to 16, that's a clitellar segments, and the segment number last जो भी है 120. And the setae are not located in a scattered manner as an isolated one, they are located in a row. The पूरा row होता है setae का, एक chain होता है setae का. आपको एक इंडिविजुअल सेगमेंट में मैं उसका चेन या सीरीज दिखाता हूं. देखो, इसमें मैं एक सेगमेंट ड्रॉ करता हूं. ये एक सेगमेंट है, 13 सेगमेंट. उसमें आपको ये जो दिख रहे हैं ना, इज द सीरीज ऑफ सीटे. पूरे सेगमेंट को एनसर्कल करेंगे. हाउ मेनी हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट दिस इज अ रॉ ऑफ सीटे? Such a raw will not be found in first segment, in 14, 15, 16. That's a clitellar segment. And the last segment, they will be without such raw of setae, circular series of setae. Do you understand this much? Achha, this setae, they can be extracted. तो यहां से बाहर प्रोजेक्ट भी किए जा सकते हैं थोड़े आउटर साइड पे, और दे कैन बी रिट्रैक्टेड ऑल्सो, अंदर की ओर वापस भी लिए जा सकते हैं. कैन बी प्रोजेक्टेड or extracted out, or they can be retracted in. इनको बाहर एक्सटेंड भी किया जा सकता है और अंदर रिट्रैक्ट भी किया जा सकता है. सो दे हेल्प इन लोकोमोशन इन दिस अर्थवर्म. वो जब क्राउल करता है सॉइल के ऊपर तो उसके सेगमेंट्स, हर एक सेगमेंट के ऊपर एक्सक्लूडिंग फर्स्ट, लास्ट एंड क्लाइटेलर सेगमेंट्स, दिस row of setae in a circular manner around each segment, it can extract its setae out, it can retract its setae in, and by doing this it can help in locomotion in this animal. Yes, any doubt? Last topic for the day, the anatomy of body wall in earthworm. Earthworm body has got following layers. Number one, body wall has got following layers. Number one is the cuticle. Number one is the cuticle. Number two is the epidermis. Number three, muscle layer, in which outer circular muscle layer and inner longitudinal muscle layer. And the fourth is the parietal layer. So four major layers in the wall of earthworm or in the body wall of earthworm. Earthworm की body wall के ये 4 layers होते हैं. Which is the outer layer? Tell me. Outer layer का name क्या है? What's the name of outer layer? Yes, cuticle. Second, what is the second layer? Epidermis. Exactly. What is the third layer? Which is the third layer in this body wall of an earthworm? Muscle layer. Very nice. Very good. And which is the fourth layer? Parietal layer. Excellent reply from all of you. Very good. Look at this one. Cuticle, the outermost layer. A very thin layer, cuticle layer, as an outermost layer of the body wall of earthworm. It is secreted by the epidermis itself. ये epidermis जो होती है वही इसको secrete करती है. Number 2, after the cuticle, next is epidermis. There is a basement layer on which single layer of cells is present. These most of the epithelial cells are columnar in shape. Some of them are known as goblet cells which secrete mucus, so mucus gland cells. Others secrete albumin, so they are known as albumin gland cells. Some of them are just filling the gap called support cells. Others non-columnar in shape, shorter in length, they are basal cells. 4 different types of cells constituting the epidermis. This is 1, this is 2, the epidermis. Over the basement membrane, single layer of cells, mucus gland cells, albuminous gland cells, supporting cells, and basal cells. That is the profile of epidermis. Third layer, muscle cells. This is the third layer called muscular layer, in which the outer are circular muscles. ये देखिए body में circular manner में arranged है. And the inner is longitudinal muscles. ऐसा ये longitudinally arranged है. जैसे ये body है तो इस body में अगर muscles को आप ऐसे arrange करो तो वो longitudinal हो गए. और आप मसल्स को ऐसे अरेंज करो सर्कुलर मैनर में, तो वो सर्कुलर मसल्स हो गए। सो दो सेट्स मसल्स के हैं, सर्कुलर एंड लॉन्जिट्यूडिनल, सर्कुलर वन बीइंग आउटर वन, longitudinal one being inner one. ऐसा सर्कुलर फॉरवर्ड बैकवर्ड मूवमेंट में हेल्प करते हैं, इनर वन अपवर्ड एंड डाउनवर्ड मूवमेंट में। इनके वजह से बिकॉज ऑफ देयर कॉन्ट्रैक्शन the body can show some type of movements over there. The last, that is parietal peritoneum or parietal layer. इसको पेरिटोनियम कहते हैं, इसको सिलोमिक एपिथेलियम कहते हैं। इसके नीचे बॉडी कैविटी आती है जिसको कहते हैं सिलोम। यहाँ पे बॉडी कैविटी है जिसको कहते हैं सिलोम। आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड। ये बॉडी की वॉल थी, और उसके नीचे जो बॉडी कैविटी है वो सिलोम कैविटी होगी। सो सिलोम का लाइनिंग करता है ये एपिथेलियम। सो सिलोमिक एपिथेलियम, इट इज द इनरमोस्ट लेयर ऑफ बॉडी वॉल, it is the outer covering for coelom itself, and it secretes coelomic fluid. जो body cavity में fluid होगा वो यहाँ से secrete होता है। These are the features of body wall of an earthworm. In a homework, earthworm external features to be drawn by you, as well as this body wall diagram. This body wall
Hello,
diagram,
sir.
as well as this one, external features. This much is to be prepared by you in a homework. बोलिए श्रेया।
Sir, can you just show the body wall diagram? I was writing. Thank you.
चलिए, कोई क्वेश्चन है अगर तो आप पूछ सकते हो। Okay, if that is not the case, now let me make a very important announcement. Madam will send the information regarding the same in the group. The point is that board has given the permission to conduct the test and keep the syllabus as per the school's convenience. So that is a kindness, a very good gesture on the part of the state board. And according to that, each school can conduct the exam with their own question paper and with their own syllabus. So that much comfort they are giving to the schools. With regard to that arrangement, we had announced that 1 to 9 chapters were included in biology, but because the 10th was not included in the state board syllabus, we had already completed that. We excluded it for that purpose because board was going to send the paper. As state board is not going to provide the papers will be prepared by us, the school themselves. So we are including the chapter number 10th also. Have I made it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, dear students, our syllabus for the upcoming first term exam of the school in biology, chapter number 1 to 10 has been included, and the same will remain the syllabus for our NEET exam also. Whatever we will be able to complete in the 7th chapter, that much we will keep in the exam, rest we will not keep. Yeah, if some doubt is there, you stay back in the meet, otherwise you can.
सर एक announcement है।
Yes, wait a minute, students, have a look. Madam, bolo.
हाँ students, Monday you will be having chapter number doubt solving of chapter number 9 biomolecules, both spiral as well as MTG. Monday 12 to 1:30.
Madam,
हाँ सर, हाँ
એમને chapter number 10 થઈ ગયું છે doubt solving?
हाँ सर, એ જોવું પડશે.
Students, which chapters are left in a MCQ doubt solving? 1 to 10 में से क्या बाकी है? ये तो रनिंग चैप्टर है तो इसका तो नहीं होगा, इसको छोड़ के 7 को छोड़ के 1 to 6 and 8 9 10 में 9th is the only one left. तो make sure that your doubt solving of this 2 chapters will be there. एक तो होगा 9th और ये 7th में से ये वाला एनिमल टिश्यू एंड अर्थवर्म तक का उतना प्रिपेयर कर लेना, जितना अर्थवर्म में होता है उतना कंटेंट एक बार देख लेना. ओके